Beneath the surface of every ocean, a mystery swims. Dolphins glide through water with effortless grace, their clicks echoing through the darkness like ancient Morse code. We see them as ocean natives, born to the waves, perfectly adapted to a world of salt and tide. But what if everything you thought you knew about dolphins was backwards? What if these intelligent marine mammals didn't begin in the sea at all? The truth is stranger than fiction. 50 million years ago, the ancestors of dolphins walked on land with 4 legs and hooves. They were deer-like creatures wading through shallow rivers, slowly surrendering their terrestrial existence for something far more extraordinary. This is the story of evolution's most dramatic transformation, a journey from land to sea that rewrote the rules of survival. The landwalkers. The story begins not in crashing waves, but in quiet river valleys of ancient Pakistan. 50 million years ago, a small hoofed mammal named Echolocation crept along muddy shorelines, its body caught between 2 worlds. It looked nothing like the sleek dolphins we know today, more like a miniature deer with a nervous disposition. But hidden inside its skull was a clue that would unlock one of evolution's greatest mysteries. Its inner ear contained specialized structures adapted for hearing underwater, a feature shared by no other land mammal of its time. Echolocation spent its days wading through shallow waters, perhaps hiding from predators in the murky depths. When danger approached on land, it would slip beneath the surface and hold its breath, waiting in silence. This simple survival strategy set the stage for an evolutionary revolution that would span millions of years. The water offered safety, abundant food, and escape from the brutal competition on land. Slowly, generation by generation, these creatures spent more time in the water and less on shore. Evolution doesn't happen overnight, but when it does happen, the changes can be breathtaking. Over millions of years, legs shortened and transformed into flippers, powerful for steering, but useless for walking. Nostrils migrated from the tip of the snout to the top of the head, becoming blowholes. Bodies became streamlined, shedding fur for smooth skin that sliced through water with minimal resistance. Tails flattened into horizontal flukes, perfect for propelling through the ocean with powerful up and down strokes. These weren't just physical changes, they were complete reinventions of what it meant to be a mammal. The ancestors of dolphins abandoned everything their lineage had evolved for on land and committed fully to the sea. They became cetaceans, a group that includes all whales, dolphins, and porpoises, creatures that breathe air but live entirely in water. It's one of the most dramatic evolutionary transitions ever documented, a testament to life's incredible adaptability. When dolphins were monsters. But here's where the story takes a dark turn. The dolphins of prehistory were not the friendly, playful creatures we swim with today. They were apex predators built for violence, equipped with teeth designed to tear flesh and crush bone. Around 29 million years ago, during the Oligocene epoch, the oceans were ruled by toothed whales that would make modern orcas look tame. And leading this prehistoric reign of terror was a creature called Ankylorhiza, a name that translates to fused roots, referring to its terrifyingly anchored teeth. Ankylorhiza stretched nearly 5 meters long, roughly the size of a modern killer whale. But size alone doesn't capture its menace. It was the design that made it deadly. Its skull was thick and reinforced, built to withstand tremendous impact forces during violent hunts. The front of its snout was packed with massive conical teeth that pointed forward like spears. These teeth were so large they likely protruded even when its mouth was closed, giving it a permanent snarl. The teeth weren't just for show, they had serrated edges on both sides, perfect for slicing through flesh. Fossil evidence shows broken teeth and were patterns consistent with biting into hard materials like bone and cartilage. This wasn't a fish eater, it was a bone crusher, a predator that took down large prey with brutal efficiency. Scientists believe Ankylorhiza used ramming tactics similar to modern orcas, slamming into victims with its reinforced skull before tearing them apart. But Ankylorhiza wasn't just a brute, it was also built for speed. Its spine showed a unique combination of flexibility and stiffness, allowing powerful undulating movements through the midsection while maintaining rigid propulsion at the tail. Its vertebrae grew progressively larger toward the tail, maximizing thrust with every stroke, a design seen in today's fastest marine predators. This was a pursuit predator, capable of chasing down prey across open ocean. What makes Ankylorhiza even more fascinating is its evolutionary position. It sits right at the crossroads between ancient whales and modern dolphins. Its limbs were transitional, not quite as streamlined as modern dolphins, but far more aquatic than earlier whales. It was evolution caught in the act, a snapshot of transformation frozen in stone. Eventually, Ankylorhiza vanished from the fossil record around 23 million years ago, likely outcompete by newer, more efficient predators. But the niche it filled didn't disappear. Other apex predators stepped up to claim the throne. The age of monstrous dolphins gave way to new terrors, but their legacy remained written in the bones of their descendants. The birth of sonar. While some ancient dolphins relied on brute force, others were developing something far more sophisticated, a biological sonar system that would revolutionize underwater hunting. Around 33 million years ago, a dolphin named Cotylocara swam through the murky waters off what is now South Carolina. It was smaller than Ankylorhiza, only about 3 meters long, but what it lacked in size it made up for in innovation. Cotylocara's skull was unlike anything seen before in the fossil record. It was wildly asymmetric, twisted to one side in a way that seemed almost deformed. But this wasn't a defect, it was a feature, one of the earliest signs of echolocation in cetaceans. Modern toothed whales all have asymmetric skulls, a trait directly tied to their ability to produce and receive sonar clicks. The skull of Cotylocara showed extreme telescoping, where bones slide over each other like a collapsible telescope. This creates space for the complex muscles and air sacs needed to produce high-frequency sounds. Cotylocara had one of the most telescoped skulls of any Oligocene whale, suggesting it possessed a highly developed echolocation system. It could navigate in complete darkness, hunt in murky water, and detect prey hidden beneath sand. Echolocation works by producing rapid clicks through specialized structures called phonic lips located in the nasal passages. These clicks travel through water and bounce off objects, returning as echoes that the dolphin interprets with astonishing precision. It's like seeing with sound, creating a three-dimensional acoustic image of the underwater world. Cotylocara was one of the pioneers of this technology, an evolutionary breakthrough that gave dolphins an edge over competitors. This innovation didn't just help dolphins survive, it allowed them to dominate. With echolocation, they could hunt at night, in deep water, and in conditions where vision was useless. They could detect fish buried in sediment, track fast-moving prey, and communicate across vast distances. It transformed dolphins from simple predators into sophisticated hunters, capable of exploiting niches no other creature could access. The development of echolocation represents one of evolution's most remarkable achievements, a sensory system so advanced it rivals anything found in nature. And it all began with creatures like Cotylocara, swimming through ancient seas, clicking into the darkness, and listening for the echoes that would guide them home. Dolphins in the Arctic. Not all ancient dolphins chose warm tropical waters. Some ventured into the cold, unforgiving seas of the far north. Around 29 million years ago, a dolphin named Arktocara yakataga swam through the subarctic waters off ancient Alaska. It's the northernmost river dolphin ever discovered, a testament to the adaptability and resilience of early cetaceans. Arktocara belonged to a now extinct family called Allodelphinidae, a group of ocean-going dolphins that thrived during the Oligocene. Its closest living relative is the South Asian river dolphin, one of the rarest and most endangered cetaceans alive today. Arktocara measured about 2.3 meters long. roughly the size of a bottlenose dolphin, but with some unusual features that set it apart. Most dolphins have stiff, fused neck vertebrae, limiting head movement but increasing swimming efficiency. Arktocara, however, had elongated, unfused neck bones, giving it surprising flexibility, perhaps allowing it to snap sideways at prey with quick, precise strikes. Its skull was relatively symmetrical compared to other dolphins, suggesting its echolocation abilities were less developed than later species. The fossil of Arktocara was discovered in 1951 by a geologist mapping the rugged Ankylorhiza district of southern Alaska. For 65 years, the skull sat in a drawer, unrecognized and unnamed, until paleontologists finally gave it proper attention in 2016. Even though only a single skull has been found, it tells a powerful story about the geographic range and adaptability of early dolphins. The environment where Arktocara lived was rich with marine life. Fossilized nautiloids, gastropods, and clams paint a picture of a thriving coastal ecosystem. Arktocara likely hunted fish and squid near the surface, using its long beak and sharp teeth to snatch prey. It was a coastal predator, navigating cold waters that would have been inhospitable to many other marine mammals. Some scientists believe that ancient river dolphins like Arktocara were eventually pushed out of the oceans by more advanced dolphins and only then moved into rivers to survive. This makes Arktocara a snapshot of a time before that transition, when river dolphins still roamed the open sea. Its existence reminds us that evolution is not a straight line, but a branching tree with countless paths, some leading to success and others to extinction. The Tusked Hunter. Around 25 million years ago, the seas near New Zealand were home to some of the strangest creatures ever to swim the ocean. Giant penguins the size of humans waddled along shorelines. Massive sharks patrolled the depths, and early baleen whales filtered the waters for food. But among these giants was a dolphin so bizarre it defied explanation, a dolphin with tusks. The story begins in 1998 when paleontologists discovered a nearly complete dolphin skull along the cliffs of Otago, New Zealand. The fossil was carefully collected and placed in a museum, where it sat largely forgotten for 2 decades. In 2018, PhD researcher Amber Costas stumbled upon the skull and was immediately puzzled by its strange teeth. Instead of the typical cone-shaped teeth used for gripping fish, this dolphin had long, tusk-like teeth that stuck out horizontally from its snout. They didn't curve downward like fangs, but spread outward like blades, almost resembling the rostrum of a sawfish. The purpose of these tusks was a complete mystery. They didn't seem suited for biting, digging, or fighting. Costa and her team examined the tusks under a scanning electron microscope and made a surprising discovery. The tusks showed almost no wear. This ruled out the possibility that the dolphin used them to dig through the seafloor or fight with rivals. Sand and bone would have worn the teeth down quickly, but these tusks were nearly pristine. The team developed a new hypothesis. Perhaps the dolphin used its tusks to stun or injure prey. Modern sawfish swing their tooth-studded rostrums side to side, striking and stunning fish before swallowing them whole. This ancient dolphin may have done something similar, using its flexible neck to swing its head in wide arcs, slashing at squid or soft-bodied prey. The tusk's strange orientation and lack of wear supported this theory. They were designed for lateral movement, not gripping or holding. The dolphin likely had unfused neck vertebrae, allowing for a wide range of head motion, perfect for swinging its weaponized snout. It was a hunting strategy unlike anything seen in modern dolphins, a bizarre evolutionary experiment that ultimately didn't survive. This tusked dolphin represents one of evolution's many dead ends, a creature that tried something different and failed. But its existence reminds us that the oceans of the past were full of strange experiments, creatures adapting in ways we can barely imagine. Evolution is not a process of perfection, but of trial and error, and sometimes the errors are the most fascinating. The Amazon's lost giant. Imagine standing on the edge of a massive prehistoric lake deep in what is now the Peruvian Amazon. The air is thick and humid, and stretching out before you is a maze of swamps, floodplains, and murky waters. Just below the surface swims a giant freshwater dolphin nearly the size of a small car, one of the largest freshwater dolphins ever discovered. This was Pebanista yacurina, a creature that lived about 16 million years ago in a vast wetland system called Peba's Proto-Amazonia. This watery world once spread across Peru, Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, and Bolivia, a massive inland sea that existed long before the Amazon rainforest took shape. Pebanista could grow up to 3.5 meters long, dwarfing modern river dolphins. The fossil that revealed this giant was found in 2018 along the Rio Napo in northern Peru. Scientists uncovered more than just a large skull. They found prominent facial crests, bony structures that helped amplify sound for echolocation. In the muddy, low-visibility waters of Peba's, echolocation was essential for hunting, allowing Pebanista to navigate and find prey in complete darkness. Pebanista had a long, narrow snout packed with sharp teeth, ideal for grabbing fish in murky water. Its closest living relatives are the river dolphins of South Asia, and together they belong to an ancient group called Platanistoidea, which once thrived in oceans worldwide. But Pebanista was uniquely adapted to freshwater, a giant among river dolphins. Its reign didn't last forever. Around 10 million years ago, the landscape began to change. The Andes Mountains continued to rise, altering water flow and drainage patterns. The Peba's system drained, and modern rivers started forming. As the wetlands shrank and fish populations shifted, Pebanista lost its food source and eventually vanished. Its extinction opened the door for a new kind of river dolphin to take over, the ancestors of today's pink Amazon river dolphins. These smaller, more adaptable dolphins thrived in the changing environment, filling the niche left by Pebanista. It's a reminder that even giants can fall when the world shifts beneath them. The twisted skull. About 30 million years ago, the ancient seas that once covered parts of what is now South Carolina were home to a strange early dolphin that might hold clues to how modern whales and dolphins developed echolocation. This dolphin looked a lot like modern species on the outside, but inside, it was already starting to change in profound ways. Its skull showed early signs of asymmetry, especially near the blowhole, a feature that helps modern dolphins direct and focus sound when echolocating. Even more interesting, the snout of this dolphin was slightly twisted, and the fat-filled lower jaw, which receives incoming sound, was tilted at an unusual angle. This combination probably gave it excellent directional hearing, like a built-in sound compass. Think of how an owl can pinpoint a mouse in total darkness just by listening. This dolphin may have had a similar ability underwater. It likely wasn't capable of the high-frequency echolocation we see in living dolphins, but it was well on its way. These features suggest that early toothed whales were already experimenting with new ways to use sound for survival. This ancient dolphin showed some of the strongest skull asymmetry ever seen in a whale or dolphin, past or present. And while that twisted snout design didn't stick around in modern species, it marks a fascinating evolutionary path, one that shows nature trying different solutions before landing on the ones we see today. It was part of the slow but incredible journey toward the sound-driven world that whales and dolphins dominate today. Every evolutionary innovation, every strange adaptation, every failed experiment contributed to the dolphins we know now. This twisted skull dolphin was a stepping stone, a creature caught between the past and the future. From land-walking ancestors to monstrous predators, from sonar pioneers to tusked hunters, the story of dolphin evolution is one of constant transformation. These creatures didn't simply adapt to the ocean, they conquered it, reinventing themselves again and again across millions of years. Today's dolphins carry within them the echoes of that ancient journey, a reminder that evolution never stops, never rests, and always finds a way forward, no matter how impossible the odds may seem.